Hi, my name is Jack Winn. I'm so excited to welcome you to our education series. Today, I'm going to be talking about Envelop permanent color. After watching this video, you should feel more confident using Envelop. You should understand our mixing ratios, our timing, what the ideal level and tone is, and what activators to use on which clients. The ideal mixing ratio with Envelop is 1 part color, 1.5 parts activator, unless you're using high lifts or light pastel toners. Then you'll use 1 part light pastel toner, 2 parts activator, or 1 part high lift, 2 parts activator. You're going to want to use it with 10 volume when you're looking for only 1 level of lift and a lot of deposit. 20 volume for gray coverage, 30 volume when you're looking for 3 levels of lift, 40 volume when you're looking for 4 or more levels of lift. Pro tip, if you have a client who really struggles with warmth and it's gray coverage, you can use 10 volume. Now at Jack Winn Pro, we recommend 20 volume for gray coverage, but if your client's primary concern is no warmth, try her with 10 volume. You'll be able to cover the gray and really make sure you don't expose any underlying pigment. Our permanent color line Envelop is excellent for gray coverage. It's also for changing level and tone. It's great for changing level and tone going lighter or changing level and tone going darker. I love it for toning. We've got permanent hair color toner in it. We've got some incredible high lifts, and not just high lifts for going blonde, but high lifts for going bright red and copper. It gives you incredible long-lasting permanent results. It's our most flexible color line. Envelop is incredibly special because it's got 4 botanical ingredients that offer so much in terms of efficacy for the product. We use argan oil for shine, rice protein for strength, aloe to really take care of the scalp, and calendula for softness. What makes Envelop permanent color so different than any other permanent color on the market is we small batch every single shade of Envelop. What small batching means is we take that product, we actually mix the exact target shade, so our warms are warm, our cools are cool, and our naturals are natural. You might be thinking, doesn't every company do that? No. So most companies will make a 3-in, a 5-in, and an 8-in. They split a little bit of off to make it lighter, darker, warmer, cooler. So they're really only making 2 or 3 batches of that product, and then they're adjusting from there. Really smart colorists will say, is your line a warm line or a cool line? Because they're used to most companies just making 1 big batch of product, then splitting things off to make it warmer, cooler, lighter, or darker. With Envelop, we small batch every single shade, so our warms are warm, our cools are cool, and our naturals are natural. We've got a wide range of colors in the Envelop line. To understand those colors, there is a code at the end of each box. So you'll recognize a natural because it'll say 6N, but you'll also recognize a double natural because it'll say 6NN. Hey Jack, what's the difference between 6N and 6NN? 6N is a level 6 natural. 6NN is for extra gray coverage. It's going to appear a half a shade darker and a little bit cooler. It does a good job of creating that perfect finish on clients who have really resistant gray who are looking for that really even gray coverage. So when you see a level 7, you're going to know that's all natural. And then I'll use the example of 7.4, which you're going to see about 2/3 natural and then 1/3 of that 0.4. The next one will be 7.44, which is about 50% copper and the remaining 50% natural. So you can think of that same theory with 7.66, 6.4x. It's going to have that amount of copper, like as if it was a 4.4, but that copper is going to be extra bright because it's a high lift. The next one is 6.6x, same concept, about 50% of that red, but a bit more intense because it's extra lift. 6.23 is one of my favorite tones within Envelop hair color. It's got this beautiful chocolatey tone to it because it's got quite a bit of violet and a little bit of gold. So if you think about chocolate, it's got that richness of the violet, but a little bit of that violet is neutralized with the gold. 8.23 is the same, and a bonus one, my actual very favorite shade of Envelop, 7.13. Now a lot of people see that 3 at the end, that's gold, and they think, oh no, this is going to be too warm. But 7.13 has got enough of that blue in it because it's the first number after the decimal point that it neutralizes all the unwanted pigment that your client has in her hair and adds a little bit of gold, intentional, beautiful, beigey gold. 7.13, give it a try. We've also got tone intensifiers. Tone intensifiers will be recognized because you'll see a 0, then point, and then the tone. For example, 0.4 is a copper. You're going to use that to add more copper when you want a more intense copper tone. Some really key advice on understanding how to use 0.4 or any of our mixers is you don't adjust the activator. So for example, if your regular formula is 30 grams of 7.4 and 45 grams of 20 volume activator, you add on top of that 0.4 mixer to get an even more copper formula. To recognize one of our high lifts, it'll be, for example, 10.1x is a level 10 ash high lift. You recognize the level by the 10, then there's the point. After that decimal point is the tone, and then behind that tone, you'll see that X, and that's what makes it a high lift. So for example, 10.1x, a level 10 ash high lift. You'll also find 6.6x, which should be a level 6 red with extra lift, so you get that super vivid bright red. That's how you recognize a high lift. We've got them with violets and coppers and golds and naturals, but you're gonna look for that X at the end to recognize that high lift. I love high lifts with 30 or 40 volume. Make sure you're using double activate. Within Envelop, we also have permanent hair color toners. I love a permanent hair color toner when I do a global application of lightener, and she comes up just not quite light enough. You need that extra half level of lift. She's baby chick yellow and she wants to be bright white. To recognize a permanent hair color toner, it's going to be followed by L for light pastel. So 9.1L is a level 9 ash, and that L behind it means that it's for a toner where you want just an extra half level at the same time that you tone, different than a semi-permanent or a demi-permanent toner. If you're looking for an incredibly supportive community, look to one of our 2 Facebook groups, either our Education Network or our Jacqueline Pro Associates group. There are so many incredible individuals there who want to reach out and help you. I've oftentimes gone to that group and said, hey guys, here's a picture of a client who I'm struggling to get a particular result with. What would you recommend? They may recommend Restore or Envelop, but look to those groups for resources. We also have an incredibly robust product guide. You can look to that as a resource. And of course, you can always email us at info@jacquelinecolor.com.